Hey animal world explorers, welcome. Today you're going to meet the greatest tricksters of the animal kingdom. Creatures that disguise themselves, camouflage, pretend to be others, bluff, put on Oscar-worthy shows, or simply look so absurd that you think they're fake. If any of these animals fooled you, relax. They even fool professional predators. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now let's get started. Number 12. The Death's Head Hawk Moth Acherontia atropos. If there's an insect that looks like it came straight out of a horror movie scripted by Tim Burton himself, it's the Death's Head Hawk Moth. It has that sinister vibe, dark charm, and a name that makes your heart race. It almost seems like an urban legend, but no, it's very real and more fascinating than you imagine. A symbol of terror, but not a villain. You've probably seen this moth without even knowing it. It became worldwide famous thanks to the movie The Silence of the Lambs, where it appears stuck on the victims' throats as a warning symbol, a kind of macabre seal stamped on skin. But hold on, before you imagine this moth landing on your window to haunt your sleep, know this. It's not a killer. It won't hurt you, won't suck your blood, won't curse you. The Death's Head Hawk Moth is actually a natural artist, and the skull pattern on its wings is its dark signature in the world. The design, natural gothic art on an insect's body. What makes this moth unique and immediately recognizable is the perfectly symmetrical pattern resembling a human skull painted on its hind wings. It's almost like nature hired a gothic artist to create a custom jacket that sends a clear message. Beware, I'm dark, mysterious, and not to be messed with. But this jacket is not just for scaring, it has an evolutionary purpose. The skull can intimidate predators, making them think twice before attacking. And that's not all. The moth also has a robust, furry body and coloration ranging from brown, beige, black, to yellow, creating a camouflaged effect that helps avoid enemies. The moth that makes noise. Yes, noise. Unlike most moths, which are silent like ghosts of the night, the Death's Head Hawk Moth has an extra trick up its sleeve, or rather, in its wings and respiratory system. When threatened or disturbed, it emits a high-pitched, piercing sound that resembles a mouse's squeak. This bizarre noise works as a warning to predators, confusing and often scaring them away. Imagine a flying creature with a skull on its back that squeaks like a mouse when threatened. It's basically a character straight out of a horror movie or a fantastic nightmare. The honey thief espionage in the bee world. But it doesn't stop there. The Death's Head Hawk Moth has a secret skill that shows how clever it is. It invades beehives, those fortresses full of defenders armed with stingers ready to attack, and manages to steal honey unnoticed. How? It's a master of chemical disguise. The moth produces a substance that mimics the scent of worker bees, confusing the beehive guard's sense of smell. It's like wearing an invisible costume and olfactory mask to infiltrate and leave with the sweet loot without getting stung once. This requires a mix of courage and cleverness few insects possess. A truly dark and bizarre symbol. This mix of scary appearance, stealthy behavior, and strange sound makes the moth a fascinating creature for scientists, artists, and lovers of the strange. It's beautiful, bizarre, and full of style, with a dark vibe that would make any gothic or underground rock fan feel at home. More than an insect, a nature mystery. Deep down, the Death's Head Hawk Moth reminds us that nature is full of surprises, and that survival often demands extreme creativity, whether through scary patterns, unexpected sounds, or chemical espionage. And although many see it as a bad omen of death or witchcraft, some have burned their homes or hunted the moth out of superstition. All it really wants is a little honey, a simple, sweet, and dark life at the same time. In summary, scientific name, Acherontia atropos. Distribution, mainly Europe, Africa, and parts of Asia. Features, large, wings with skull pattern, high-pitched mouse-like squeak diet, honey, stolen from hives, nectar, sap. Fun fact, can invade beehives using chemical disguise. If you come across one of these, instead of being scared, watch with respect and admiration. You're facing one of the most intriguing and iconically gothic creatures in the world, a true flying terror symbol that mixes a... Number 11. The Stonefish, the master of camouflage and deadly bones. In the vast ocean realm, where survival is an art requiring creativity, patience, and cunning, there is an absolute champion of hiding skill, the stonefish. Camouflaging is one thing, being practically a living, lethal stone ready to kill is another story. This fish is so discreet it looks like a marine optical illusion, a disguise master that would make any ninja jealous. The wildest camouflage in the marine world. Imagine walking on the beach sand or diving near a reef, seeing that beautiful landscape full of corals, algae, sand, and rocks. Now imagine one of those rocks is actually a fish, not just any fish, but one of the most venomous and dangerous on the planet. The stonefish can partially bury itself in sand, covering its body with small bits of algae, coral, and natural calcifications. This combination is so perfect that it literally becomes part of the underwater landscape, invisible even to the sharpest eyes. The colors and textures of this fish's body vary from brown, gray, beige, moss green, all to imitate the environment with maximum fidelity. It doesn't move, doesn't attract attention. It's the master of stay still, I'm part of the ground. Danger disguised as a rock. But here's the scariest part. On the stonefish's back are 13 venomous spines, each a lethal weapon capable of turning an unsuspecting step into a disaster of epic proportions. This venom is one of the most potent in the marine world and can cause unbearable, immediate pain lasting hours or even days muscle paralysis, leaving the victim unable to move respiratory failure as the venom acts quickly on the respiratory muscles and in severe cases without immediate medical treatment, death. Yes, the stonefish is one of those natural traps that doesn't waste time. It doesn't chase prey or run, it stays still, motionless, looking like a harmless stone, waiting for an unwary swimmer to get too close, or worse, step on it. Lightning fast, explosive stone attack. When the victim is too close, the stonefish acts like a silent bomb. In a split second, it wakes from its disguise and uses its venomous spines to stab the attacker, releasing deadly venom. This attack is so fast and precise that it seems like the stone exploded out of nowhere, making many think it's a supernatural phenomenon. If stones could fight, this one would be the black belt of the underwater dojo. The stonefish wastes no time, plays no games, and gives no chances. The moral of the story, don't trust even the stones in the sea. The stonefish teaches a valuable lesson about being a master of disguise and reminds us to always keep respect and heightened awareness when exploring natural environments. The message is clear. In the sea, even stones can be dangerous. For swimmers, shallow beach walkers, or water sports enthusiasts, the recommendation is to always wear proper protection and avoid stepping in places where these fish might be hiding. Extra curiosities to impress your friends. The stonefish belongs to the family Synanchaeidae and is mainly found in the tropical Indo-Pacific waters. Despite its threatening appearance, it is a passive predator, feeding mainly on small fish and crustaceans attracted by its camouflage. Its venom is even used in medicine for painkiller studies and treatments related to pain. Its body, covered with bumps and irregular textures, looks like a true natural artwork, a living sculpture made to fool eyes and save its life, not ours. So are you ready to face a fish that is basically a killer stone? Next time you're in the sea, remember, the stonefish is nearby, still, silent, waiting for its chance to prove that camouflage can be not only a survival tactic, but also absolute power. In the game of nature, it is king a lethal stone that challenges you to find out who the true master of hiding is. Number 10, the glass frog, the master of transparent and discreet camouflage. In the universe of nature, camouflage is one of the most fascinating survival strategies. And if you think you've seen everything, wait until you meet the glass frog, one of the most incredible and surprising creatures of the tropical forests of Central and South America. It is literally a master of invisibility, but not the obvious camouflage full of colors and patterns. The glass frog is discreet, almost ghostly, a true trick of evolution, camouflage that seems like magic. Imagine walking through a tropical forest near a river or stream, surrounded by an explosion of greens from leaves, ferns, mosses, and vines. Among this vast greenery, you notice a light green touch, subtle, that seems part of the plant, but is actually an animal. The glass frog has a light green back, almost translucent, perfect to blend with fresh leaves and the humid environment. That alone is a huge trick for anyone who wants to go unnoticed. Now imagine looking at its belly, the part usually hidden in most animals. In the glass frog, this part is simply transparent. Yes, transparent. The belly skin is so thin that you can see all the internal organs, heart, liver, intestines, as if made of biological jelly, revealing what's inside. A trick to fool even the smartest predators. This transparency isn't just a visual curiosity, it's a brilliant evolutionary strategy. Many predators, when spotting a frog, look at its silhouette against the light to identify any shadow or contrast that gives it away. The glass frog, having a transparent transparent belly doesn't cast shadow or contrast, confusing and deceiving those who observe it from below. It's peaceful, brilliant, subtle camouflage, almost alien-like, a softcore style of natural invisibility that works perfectly in the jungle. The frog seems made to be part of the scenery, to be seen and not seen at the same time. Life and habitat glass frogs are mainly found in the tropical forests of Central and South America countries like Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, and Ecuador. They usually live on green leaves near rivers and streams, humid, fresh, and lively places perfect for their camouflage strategies to work. They are small, delicate, and discreet, the kind you might not even notice unless you look closely. And even then, you might get that strange doubt. Did I really see a frog or just a different leaf? Fun facts you probably didn't know. The name glass frog comes exactly from the transparency of its belly, which looks like a glass window. This transparency serves not only as protection from predators, but also helps regulate body temperature, allowing sunlight and humidity to play their roles without overloading the animal. Glass frogs are nocturnal and prefer very humid environments, which is why riverbanks and streams are their favorite habitats. Their skin is delicate and sensitive, so they avoid prolonged contact with rough or very dry surfaces. They have interesting reproductive habits. Females lay eggs on folded leaves over water, ensuring the tadpoles drop directly into the river when they hatch, giving them a survival advantage. The invisible frog that teaches us about adaptation. The glass frog is a fantastic reminder of how nature can be creative and efficient in the fight for survival. It doesn't need to be big, fierce, or aggressive. Its weapon is subtlety, mystery, natural invisibility that keeps it alive among hungry predators. Observing this little master of camouflage teaches us a valuable lesson. Sometimes the secret to winning isn't to fight, but to disappear, to be seen but not noticed, to be part of the whole, almost like a ghost in the forest. Would you dare to be as discreet as a glass frog? Next time you're near rivers and tropical forests, remember the glass frog. It's there, invisible to inattentive eyes, a little miracle of evolution showing that nature doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. And you be able to perceive the invisible? Number 9. Owl butterfly, the queen of the winged bluff. Imagine standing in the middle of a tropical rainforest, surrounded by the distant calls of birds and the rustling of leaves. Suddenly, something catches your eye. On the trunk of a tree, a pair of huge, intimidating eyes stare at you with a piercing gaze. Your body tenses. You think you're facing a predator, maybe a silent owl, ready to strike. But then you move closer and realize something unbelievable. It's not an owl, it's a butterfly. This is the owl butterfly, one of the greatest bluff artists in the animal kingdom. Found in the rainforests of Central and South America, this butterfly is a masterpiece of evolution, using a disguise that goes far beyond simple camouflage. It's a champion of deception, a visual illusionist that confuses and frightens predators like no other insect could. The perfect bluff, eyes that aren't eyes. What makes the owl butterfly so special? It's all in its hind wings, where giant eye-like spots shine. Not just any eyes, but those of a predator. These windows on the wings resemble the intense gaze of a watchful owl, or even the feline stare of a jungle predator. These false eyes are an impressive evolutionary strategy. When a curious bird, lizard, or mammal approaches to attack, the eyes suddenly appear, looking enormous and threatening. The effect is so powerful that many predators hesitate, startled, thinking they're facing a much bigger threat than they really are. Meanwhile, the owl butterfly takes the opportunity to flutter calmly from leaf to leaf, as if to say, think twice before trying to bite me. A visual spectacle to challenge Renaissance artists. Beyond the bluff, the owl butterfly's wings are like a natural art gallery. The colors and patterns are complex and incredibly detailed, with shades of brown, beige, black, blue, and orange creating a hypnotic contrast. If you were a Renaissance artist searching for inspiration, these wings would be your perfect muse. Each wing is like a canvas painted with masterful skill, a work of art that beautifully blends form and function. Behavior and habitat. The owl butterfly is nocturnal, which increases its need for effective defense strategies, since it faces predators even in low light. Its large, rounded wings help create the visual impact needed for the bluff to succeed. It lives in humid, shaded tropical forests, where dense vegetation offers both shelter and danger. It feeds on flower nectar, and can often be seen resting on tree trunks or among leaves, waiting for the right moment to fly. The power of illusion in nature. The owl butterfly is one of the most spectacular proofs that in the animal kingdom, illusion can be as powerful as brute force. It shows that survival often depends on deceiving the enemy, on appearing to be something you're not to avoid an early end. This winged bluff is more than instinct, it's a complex game of perception and trust. The owl butterfly is the queen of this game, an artist who uses illusion to rule her territory. Would you dare to face the stare of a butterfly that looks like a predatory owl? Next time you're in a tropical forest, stay alert. You might not be watched by an owl, but by a butterfly with the most intimidating gaze in nature, who despite the bluff only wants to fly in peace, creating magic and mystery with every beat of its wings. Number 8. Bombardier Beetle, the explosive chemist of the forest. At first glance, it looks like just a common little beetle, but threaten it and boom! The Bombardier Beetle shoots a chemical explosion from its back at nearly 100 degrees C. That's right, it creates a chemical reaction inside its body and blasts a boiling jet at its attacker. How does it work? It mixes hydrogen peroxide and hydroquinone inside a pressurized chamber. When combined, these chemicals explode into a hot, irritating spray. The reaction even makes a clicking sound, like a tiny bomb going off. And the most amazing part, it aims the blast with precision, like a natural acid-shooting machine gun, a war tank disguised as an ant. Number 7. Snake Caterpillar, the baby that pretends to be a predator. It's just a small, soft, defenseless caterpillar, but when threatened, it puts on a show worthy of a spy documentary. The snake caterpillar from the Hemeroplanes family inflates its head and curls its body in a way that imitates a snake ready to strike. And it's not a subtle resemblance, it's terrifying. The fake head even has painted eyes, and it makes mock strike movements like a venomous snake. The result? Predators think twice, and while they hesitate, the caterpillar escapes. No venom, no weapons, just pure acting. A prize-winning actress in the insect world, worthy of an Oscar for her performance in surviving as a leaf. Number 6. Mantis Shrimp, the psychedelic boxer of the sea. If Muhammad Ali were a crustacean, this would be him. The mantis shrimp, or stomatopod, is one of the most amazing and violently colorful animals on Earth. It looks like a cross between a rainbow and an alien, but don't be fooled. It's an elite predator, with one of the fastest and strongest punches in the animal kingdom. Its specialized arms act like molecular hammers. When it strikes, it hits with speeds of up to 80 km/h in under 3 milliseconds. The blow creates a cavitation bubble that produces extreme heat, a shock wave, and can literally shatter aquarium glass. But it's not just brute force. This shrimp has some of the most complex eyes in the animal world. It sees polarized light, detects colors we can't even imagine, like ultraviolet, and can move each eye independently. The result? It sees you before you even think of seeing it. A dazzling, dangerous creature, one that could knock you out in the first round. The most beautiful and deadly dancer on the ocean floor. Number 5. Vietnamese Mossy frog, the invisible ninja of the forest. If nature were a spy movie, this frog would be the ultimate secret agent, the master of disguise and invisibility. The Vietnamese mossy frog, from the Leptobrachium genus, is the living definition of going unnoticed, a true ghost in the dense forests of Southeast Asia. She's not one of those noisy frogs that become the soundtrack of a tropical night. No loud croaking or crazy hopping around. She's the opposite, calm, discreet, and naturally gifted at disappearing into the scenery. The forest she inhabits is a chaotic carpet of dry leaves, broken twigs, and moss, a real camouflage game board where she is the key piece. Her skin isn't just plain brown or green, it's a masterpiece of camouflage. With shades ranging from beige and brown to dirty gray, she perfectly replicates the pattern of decomposing leaves. Every blotch, every hue seems designed to fool even the sharpest eyes. When she stays still, which she does for hours, practically a living statue, she becomes nearly invisible, whether to predators, curious onlookers, or even scientists. The most surprising part? She doesn't have shiny eyes or any markings that reveal her presence. No flashy colors or twitchy movements. She simply ignores the world. It's as if she made a silent pact with the forest to remain unseen, whispering, "If you don't see me, you won't bother me." This ability to fly under the radar isn't just a neat trick, it's a survival weapon. Predators that hunt using sight or motion simply can't detect her, leaving the ghost frog safe to go about her secretive life. And here's the kicker, even scientists struggle to study her. Often she's only registered via acoustic traps, devices that capture sound, because spotting her with the naked eye is nearly impossible. It's like trying to find a camouflaged needle in a haystack. She is the true secret agent of the wild, winning hands down at the natural game of hide and seek. While other creatures scream, fly, or glow to get attention, the ghost frog insists on being the absolute silence, the shadow no one sees, the phantom of the forest floor. If you're lucky enough to spot one, you should feel privileged. You've seen the undisputed master of camouflage, the invisible one that outsmarts even the most observant eyes. Number 4. Flying Dragon, Draco volans, the tiny glider of the forest. Picture a small, skinny lizard, almost unnoticeable, the kind you might step on in a forest without even realizing it. Now imagine that same lizard, looking like just another leaf or twig, suddenly unfolding wings and gliding smoothly through the air from tree to tree. No, this isn't a fantasy movie or a mythical dragon tale. This is Draco volans, the real flying dragon, an Asian reptile that seems like it stepped right out of a storybook, yet it lives quietly in the tropical forests of Southeast Asia. The glide master among the canopy Draco volans doesn't fly like a bird or bat, it glides, and it does so with impressive style. It has an extraordinary evolutionary adaptation, elongated ribs that support folds of skin, creating real gliding wings. Think of it as having a retractable cape that transforms its seemingly ordinary body into a natural flying machine. When it leaps from the top of a tree, it can glide up to 10 meters, 30 feet, before landing softly on another branch or trunk. This not only helps it escape predators with unexpected flight, but also allows it to move around without descending to the dangerous ground. Home to snakes, predators, and competitors. More than a glider, a visual showstopper. But those wings aren't just functional, they're also a visual spectacle. During mating season, males put on aerial displays, gliding from tree to tree in colorful choreographed flights to impress females. The wing membranes may show vibrant oranges, reds, or blues in striking contrast to the lizard's otherwise muted camouflaged body. In its competitive, predator-filled habitat, being both stealthy and eye-catching is a killer combo. To a predator, it might look like just another leaf or branch, but when Draco takes flight, it's like a tiny designer Pokemon comes to life, flaunting agility and unmatched style. The chameleon of the tropical canopy. What's truly jaw-dropping is Draco's camouflage. With an elongated body, earthy toned scales, and leafy patterns, it blends flawlessly with bark and foliage. Its silent flight is often the only clue to its presence. Otherwise, it's nearly invisible. It's a creature that, despite its amazing ability, remains humble in its essence. It doesn't breathe fire or roar. It simply glides, silently and gracefully, like the Zen master of the treetops. Why everyone wants a mini Draco at home? Who hasn't dreamed of having a miniature flying dragon to glide around the backyard? Watching it open its skin wings, float gently among the plants, and land like a living toy designed by nature for the young and curious at heart. Draco volans proves that nature is full of spectacular surprises, hidden where we least expect. It inspires us to pay closer attention, to respect the small creatures that perform incredible feats and play vital roles in our ecosystems. Quick facts about Draco volans. The name Draco volans literally means flying dragon in Latin, like something out of a medieval fantasy. Its wings are extensions of skin supported by elongated ribs that can fold or extend as needed. Besides escaping predators, Draco uses gliding to find food and mates without risking the dangers of the forest floor. Males become especially colorful during mating season, showing off in dramatic air shows. They feed mostly on insects and small arthropods found in the treetops. In short, Draco volans is a real-life miniature dragon, and that alone makes it one of the most fascinating and magical creatures on the planet. Number 3. Leaf-tailed Gecko, Uroplatus, the ninja chameleon of Madagascar. Have you ever looked at a tree and thought you saw something move, only to find nothing but leaves and twigs? If so, you may have just missed seeing Uroplatus, the leaf-tailed gecko, one of nature's most incredible and mysterious creatures. This isn't just another reptile, it's a true master of disguise, a magician of the invisible. Uroplatus is endemic to Madagascar, the legendary island where evolution threw a wild party and invited the weirdest creatures on Earth. Nature's leaf illusionist. In Madagascar's dense, humid forests. Oroplatus lives among trees and shrubs, blending perfectly into the environment. Imagine a flat-bodied gecko that looks exactly like a fallen leaf. Even the edges of its body are jagged like they've been chewed by insects. And the illusion doesn't stop there. Its skin has hyper-realistic textures and colors. Grays, browns, greens, yellows, and even moss-like blotches, bark patterns, lichens, and fungal textures. This is nature's ultimate camouflage painting. But it's not just visual. Oroplatus can make micro-adjustments to its skin tone, almost like an e-reader screen adapting to the background. A living 3D print sculpted to vanish. The Silhouette Breaker. One of its coolest features is its loose, irregular skin edges. These eliminate shadows that could reveal its outline. Even when just inches from you, it appears completely merged with the tree. You've seen magicians disappear on stage. Oroplatus does it in real life. No mirrors, no smoke. And when it opens its eyes, get ready for a shock. Its eyes are huge, round, and cat-like, with vertical pupils. If you're caught off guard, it really feels like the leaf just blinked at you. A predator disguised as prey. Its camouflage doesn't just protect it, it helps it hunt. Oroplatus preys on insects, spiders, smaller lizards, and other invertebrates. A patient, sneaky predator, it waits, motionless, until the perfect moment to strike. It's also nocturnal, adding another stealth layer. During the day, it becomes a lifeless leaf. At night, it comes alive, quiet, unseen, unstoppable. Even its tail mimics a decaying leaf, jagged and flattened, swaying like part of the forest floor. If threatened, it might even play dead, dropping to the ground and staying motionless, banking on being ignored. Madagascar's spiritual shadow. Some local tribes in Madagascar revere Oroplatus, seeing it as a spirit guardian of the forest. And it's not hard to see why. It's a living enigma, a whisper of evolution's genius. Unfortunately, because of its uniqueness, Oroplatus is sought after for exotic reptile collections, putting its wild populations at risk. Conservation efforts are crucial to ensure this camouflage king keeps haunting the trees of Madagascar for generations to come. In summary, Oroplatus is a forest ninja, a chameleon that changes not just color, but texture and presence. If it were a fictional character, it would be the rogue spy who disappears into shadows, the ghost that always lands the hit, the leaf with a secret life, a living mystery of global biodiversity, and the true king of hide and seek. Number 2, Blue-Ringed Octopus, the fluorescent assassin. Small, cute, and shiny, one of the most beautiful creatures you've ever seen, and venomous enough to kill 26 humans in minutes. The blue-ringed octopus, Hapalochlena, is found in shallow waters of Australia and the Pacific, and it looks harmless, until it feels threatened. When it goes into alert mode, its blue rings glow brightly, flashing like Disco Light's killer disco lights. This visual display is meant to scare off predators, of course, but it's also the final warning. If it bites and the bite is almost painless, it injects a neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin, which paralyzes muscles and can cause respiratory failure within minutes. And the worst part? There's no antidote. All the hospital can do is hook you up to a respirator and wait for the venom to leave your system. In short, a creature the size of a ping pong ball with a plush toy look and the soul of a reaper. Number 1, leaf insect, the greatest botanical illusionist in nature. This insect doesn't just look like a leaf, it moves like one too. Every part of its body is a tribute to foliage, color, texture, veins, even little bite marks or dry edges to sell the illusion. It's like nature handcrafted a bug out of a leaf just to mess with our perception. And when it walks, it gently sways from side to side, as if being carried by the wind. The performance is so convincing, it deserves a standing ovation from the forest. If it falls on its back to the ground, you still won't notice. You'll just think, ah, another leaf. But it's not. It's Phillidae, the ultimate camouflage artist, the plant personified, a walking masterpiece engineered to disappear, the walking leaf, the jungle ninja, a full-on Flora cosplay with stealth mode always on. So, how many of these creatures fooled you? Thought it was a leaf? It was a lizard. Thought it was a pebble? It was a killer fish. Saw a glowing octopus and said, "Aw, how cute." You were dead wrong. Nature doesn't just design animals. It writes plot twists. It builds disguises so good they fool predators, photographers, and even you. Because in the wild, survival isn't always about strength. Sometimes it's about being invisible or being something else entirely. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked our content, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Also, check out the other awesome videos popping up on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. See you next time.